Tonight, when the lights go off, something in your chest will tighten. Just for a second. You will tell yourself it is nothing. You will lie there anyway, listening. And somewhere underneath that feeling is a memory that is not even yours. It belongs to someone who died 300,000 years ago. You call it nyctophobia, fear of the dark. Doctors treat it like a glitch, something to grow out of, something children should outgrow by the time they are 10. But what if it is not a glitch at all? What if it is the oldest working alarm system your body has ever built? To understand it, you have to go back, not centuries, not even millennia. You have to go back to a time before your species had fire, before it had walls, before it had anything standing between soft skin and open night. Picture it, a stretch of grassland in what is now East Africa, no streetlights, no moon, some nights. Just a horizon that swallows itself in black, and a small band of early hominins pressed together for warmth. They cannot see 30 feet in front of them, but something else can. Leopards hunt at night, lions hunt at night, hyenas hunt at night. And your ancestors, for most of their evolutionary history, had none of the advantages they have now. No claws worth mentioning, no fangs, no fur thick enough to matter. Just bare skin, blunt nails, and eyes that were built for daylight, not darkness. Anthropologists Donna Hart and Robert Sussman spent years compiling fossil evidence most people had overlooked. Bite marks, puncture wounds on ancient hominin bones that matched the jaw spacing of extinct big cats. Their research, published under what became known as the man-the-hunted hypothesis, suggested something uncomfortable. For millions of years, your ancestors were not always the predator. Often they were the prey. Doesn't that change something? Doesn't it make the tightness in your chest tonight feel a little less irrational? Here is the part that surprises most people. Fear is not a malfunction. Fear is a prediction. Your brain is not reacting to the dark itself. It is reacting to what darkness has meant for almost the entire span of human existence, which is this: reduced visibility, increased vulnerability, and a statistically higher chance that something with better night vision than you is somewhere nearby. Evolutionary psychologist Randolph Ness has a name for how fear like this gets built. He calls it the smoke detector principle. A smoke detector that only goes off during real fires is a bad smoke detector. It will fail you the one time it matters most. A good smoke detector goes off too often. It errs on the side of false alarms because a false alarm costs you a little embarrassment, and a missed real fire costs you your life. Your fear of the dark works the same way. It does not need to be right every time. It only needs to be right often enough, over hundreds of thousands of years, to keep the genes carrying that fear alive long enough to pass it forward. The humans who felt nothing at night, who wandered off alone into the black without hesitation, without that tightening in the chest. Many of them did not get the chance to have children. The nervous, jumpy ones did. You are quite literally descended from the ones who were afraid. So how did they survive the nights they could not avoid? Not by conquering the fear, by using it. Fear pushed them together. Small hominin groups clustered tighter after sunset, bodies angled outward, backs to the center, eyes scanning the tree line in shifts. Sound carried further at night, and silence became a kind of currency. Talking dropped to whispers. Movement slowed. The group became, in a very real sense, a single organism with many eyes. Then, somewhere between 400,000 and 1 million years ago, something changed everything. Primatologist Richard Wrangham has spent decades studying how control of fire reshaped human biology and behavior. Not just around cooking, but around the night itself. Before fire, darkness was simply dangerous. After fire, it became something humans could push back against, one flickering circle of orange light at a time. Campfires did not just provide warmth, they extended the range of vision. They kept predators at a wary distance. They turned the terrifying hours of night into something almost social, almost safe. Think about that for a moment. The campfire may be the first piece of technology your species ever built specifically to fight fear. And it worked so well that it reshaped your sleep itself. Researchers studying modern hunter-gatherer groups, including the Hadza of Tanzania, have found that firelight extends waking hours into the night in ways that daylight alone never could. Conversations around a fire tend to shift too. Daytime talk leans practical. Nighttime fire-lit talk leans towards stories, myths, social bonding. Some anthropologists argue this nightly ritual, born entirely out of a need to manage fear, may have helped build the shared narratives that held early human communities together. Your fear did not just protect bodies, it built culture. Which brings us to now. You do not live on an open savanna. There are no lions outside your window in most cases. You have locks and light switches and phones that can summon help in seconds. And yet the fear remains, almost untouched by any of it. Why? Because evolution does not update software quickly. The part of your brain responsible for that primal alertness, the amygdala, has not received a memo that the world has changed. It still runs ancient code. Reduced visibility still gets flagged as increased risk, whether the threat is a leopard in the grass or simply an unfamiliar house creaking as it cools. Studies on children's fears consistently find that fear of the dark peaks in early childhood, right around the age when independent movement away from caregivers becomes possible, and gradually fades as the brain matures and learns to distinguish real threat from imagined shape. But it rarely fades all the way. Most adults, if honest, will admit to a flicker of it still. You check the closet. You do not really think anything is there, but you check anyway. That is not weakness, that is inheritance. There is something oddly comforting in that if you sit with it. The tightening in your chest tonight is not proof that something is wrong with you. It is proof that a very old, very effective survival system is still doing exactly what it was built to do. Thousands of generations after the last leopard stopped hunting your bloodline. You are carrying forward a warning system built by people who never saw a light switch, never heard of electricity, never imagined a world where night could be banished with the flick of a finger. They built it because it kept them alive long enough to have you. So tonight, when the lights go off and that familiar tightness returns, you might notice it differently. Not as an irrational glitch to be embarrassed by, but as an echo carried across 300,000 years from a small group of your ancestors huddled around a fire, listening to the dark and passing that watchfulness down, one generation at a time, until it reached you. The fear was never really about the dark. It was always about staying alive long enough to pass it on.